Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to see how I went from this to this, then just keep watching. And I'm going to go in with a primer. I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm only using this in areas that I have a little bit of texture. So I have some fine lines under my eyes that I'd like to fill up. I try to fill in the pores on my nose and around it. And I have some texture under my chin where I'm applying it. Some pores on the center of my forehead. And I'm just smoothing that out with my fingers. Then I'm going to go in with color corrector. I use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in orange and green. With the orange one, I go in and I cover up any hyperpigmentation I have. So I have a slight amount of hyperpigmentation on the corners of my eyes, under my eyes, down around my chin, and around my lips. Then I go in with the green corrector and neutralize any redness I have. So around my nose and on a few red pimples. Then I went in with a concealer brush and blended it all out, starting from the green concealer and then blending out the peach corrector. After going in with the brush, I went in with my beauty sponge. This is by Real Techniques, and I just used that for good measure to really push that product into my skin. Afterwards, I went in with my complexion products. Since I didn't want something too matte or too full coverage, I mixed the e.l.f. Halo Glow filter with the Maybelline Super Stay foundation, which is a matte and full coverage foundation. And this gave me a natural finish and not super full coverage. So I dotted that around my face and blended it out with my beauty sponge. To get your makeup to look not as cakey, you really want to take your time blending. Okay, after foundation, I went in with the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum and applied that with a flat concealer brush under my eyes. In a line going from the corner of my eye to the tail of my eyebrow. And I used the leftover to go on the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose and the tip. Then I made lines going from the corners of my mouth upwards and outwards. Gives me a little bit of a Joker look, but it really lifts the face, in my opinion. Then I'm going to use that same concealer brush and blend that out. And once again, I'm going in with my beauty sponge. Once that is looking good, I'm going to go in with a makeup remover and take off the product that's on my lips. Then I'm going in with a bronzer. This bronzer is in Drugstore, so I haven't linked it below. But I'm just going in my usual places. So that's on the cheeks, on the top of my forehead, my jawline, and the sides of my nose. Then I'm going to go in with a cream blush. I'm using this one by Honest Beauty. It's my go-to blush. And I'm applying that on the outside of my cheeks and a little bit on my temples. And I'm just going to blend that using my fingers. I'm using whatever product that was left on my fingers to apply on the center of my nose and blend that in with the cheeks. Okay, and that's the complexion. I'm not going in with any highlighter or powder. Then I'm going to go in with the NYX Micro Eyebrow Pencil in the darkest shade, and I'm going to fill in my eyebrows. I draw a line from the front to the end of my eyebrow at the bottom. I extend my eyebrow as much as it can be extended. Here I'm brushing down the hairs to uncover some of the sparser areas on top. And I like to fill in the tails of my eyebrows. So from the arch to the absolute tail. I'm using the spoolie side of it to blend upwards and outwards. And then I'm going in with the pencil side again to fill in any sparse areas. Blend, blend, blend. I feel like half this video is just me blending, but it is a really important part of makeup routine. Then I'm going in with this e.l.f. brow gel to set my brows in place. Okay, before I put any color on my eyelids, I'm going to go in with my eyelash curler and curl my eyelashes. This eyelash curler is by Revlon. To prime my eyelids, I'm using the UltaBeauty Matte Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Game Over, and applying a little bit of that onto the centers of my upper eyelid. I'm going to blend that in with my finger. This shade is really close to my natural skin tone. It's more just there to enhance the colors I put on top of it and make my eyeshadow last a long time. So for the palette, we're using Maybelline's Nudes of New York. First, I'm going in with this lighter shade and going in with a fluffy blending brush. I'm applying that in the crease of my eye. I'm not being too deliberate with this. I am just kind of placing that and blending it out upwards and a little bit lower onto my lid. This is just the transition shade. I think this is a pretty decent drugstore palette. I take this with me traveling, so I don't have anything expensive to worry about breaking. And also, it's a pretty decent compact size. I'm also applying that to the entire lower lash line. Then I'm going in with this pinky brown mid shade, and I'm applying this to my upper eyelid. And just like the first color, I'm taking this color and applying this to my bottom lash line. And as usual, my cat is taking over the video. I'm going to take a small eyeliner brush, and with this warm, deeper brown, I'm placing the brush at the corner of my eyes, closing my eyes, and sweeping upwards. And somehow this works like magic. Then, using those lines as guides, I fill in the rest of my wing with that same shadow. And I do have to dip in quite a few times to this shade in order to build up the color and get it to extend across the rest of my upper lash line. And I'm just making sure that it is pushed into the roots of my lashes. I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. Finally, I'm going to connect that wing on the upper eyeline to my lower lash line. And I'm going to bring that color just on the outer 1/3 of my lower lash line. Okay. Afterwards, I decided that I wanted to go a little bit heavier on the eyeshadows. So I went in with that mid-tone shade and reapplied that on the center of the lid and blended it outwards. Here I went in with the lightest shade of the palette. It's a shimmery shade, and I put that in the inner corners. Here I am tightlining my upper waterline. Then I went in with an oldie but a goodie, which is the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara, and applied a coat of that to my upper lashes. And here you can see the difference it made. I used whatever was left on the wand to apply mascara on the outer portions of my lower lash line. Once again, I thought I needed a little bit more in the crease area, so I went in with that lightest shade and brought that up a little closer to my eyebrows. Finally, went in with the lips, so I'm using the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in the shade Reach High, which I thought matched my hijab pretty well. I'm lining my lips with this and pretty much filling them in as well. Now, as the last step, I'm going in with my Milani lip gloss in the shade Rosewood and applying that to the center of my lips and calling it a look. And here is the final result. If you enjoyed watching, then I would love it if you would like this video, leave any comment you'd wish, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!